Contact and Interstellar sort of have a similar off-screen alien presence. I mean, you sort of see the aliens in Contact, but it's not as overt as other films that were presented in the course. So you never really get to see exactly how advanced the civilization is. You only have this suggestion, and it's not even really suggested directly through things you see in the film. In Contact, you have this device that the aliens send the schematics for, and they construct that, but beyond that, you don't really have any idea of how advanced they are, at least not directly. So part of what I examined there was what can we infer from what we see. So in Contact, you see a device which creates a wormhole, and later the aliens, through their image, this human-like avatar they have, they convey that they have relay systems of these wormholes. And so that tells you something about their technology. And similarly in Interstellar, you have aliens which are able to create a wormhole which is stable, and as Kip Thorne notes in his book, it's not naturally occurring. It's a very good, solid thing to say. And they position it in a very obvious way. But again, this is the sort of thing that implies certain other things about technology. And that's where the Kardashev scale sort of comes in. So all of these things have certain energy requirements which are attached to them. So a wormhole, for example, can be modeled as a Schwarzschild black hole. They're effectively the same equation, just the Schwarzschild black hole is discontinuous, it stops at a singularity. The wormhole is continuous. It is a sign in the equation that allows transition through what would normally be the singularity for the Schwarzschild black hole. But they're effectively the same equation. So based on that, you can then say, okay, well, how much energy does it require for me to create a black hole of this size, right? That you could fly a spaceship through, or put a sphere of 5 meters through. And that gives you some idea of the sort of technological level. Kardashev's scale operates on basically taking the energy consumption of a civilization and assuming that if you have that maximum energy consumption, you will eventually use all of it. So what I found was that the energy levels required to create the sort of even single wormholes involved were so astronomically large that you would have to, at the very least, have harnessed the entire power of multiple suns in order to have enough power to do the things that they were doing. So I realized it suggested certain things that weren't being portrayed on screen about these civilizations and about their level of advancement, particularly with respect to our own. So the Kardashev scale, at least in its initial form, as published in Kardashev's original paper, consisted of actual energy levels. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but roughly it's equivalent to harnessing the power of every natural resource on the planet Earth, including all of the winds, all of the water power, all of the geothermal energy, and all of the solar radiation insulating the Earth. So absolutely everything that you can potentially harness on the Earth is being harnessed and is being used. He doesn't quite go into the explicit detail on that, but subsequent evaluations of it kind of suggest this. It was a topic that was kind of evolved a little bit more over the years. And that's the Type 1 civilization. So a Type 2 civilization utilizes the power of the entire host star. So that's what people refer to now as a Dyson sphere, more accurately a Dyson swarm. So this is where you have either one loose shell or multiple loose shells of solar arrays, which collect all of the outgoing radiation from the star, all of the light, but ideally also all of the heat. So you're collecting absolutely all of the energy possible being radiated from the star, and you're using all of that, and that's quite a bit. We only have a small fraction that actually hits the Earth. So then the third classification, and we got up to type 2 and type 3, mostly in my paper, was using the power of an entire host galaxy. Now, there's also sort of an intermediate step on your way there where you go from type 2 to type 3, and that's where you've started harnessing the power of multiple stars. And so in the case, for example, of the contact aliens, they only actually need a few stars, but that's just for the one wormhole. Were they to have a network of them, it implies that they need to have a galaxy or more. So it's sort of an evolving scale. But the Type 3 civilization uses the power of things like the rotational energy of black holes in order to power their civilization. And that says quite a bit more than even was stated in Kardashev's original paper.